to Scadaboo. Scadaboo breaks defenders. Here he goes again. Scadaboo is the running back, and he is immediately met in the backfield, runs through the contact, and then throws a shoulder for good measure. Revenge on this defense here. That is true. High in the air, right center field. Brandon comes in. Welcome to 2025.
Edwards pulls off and buries it. Richardson drives out for Robbie Ryan. Her three right on the money.
Takes his shot for Derby. Flag out. What is up, my Pitchfork Lunch peeps? How is it hanging? Happy Taco Tuesday to you all. Yes, it is Taco Tuesday, as you know, our weekly edition of Pitchfork Lunch on Taco Tuesday. And again, make them spicy, you know it. But anyway, I digress. But again, so glad you're here for Pitchfork Lunch. I am Michael Caratenuto, as you know, at Diablo00 on X, the artist formerly known as the Twitter. You know it, you love it. It's absolutely awesome. Check out the show live there every day, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. Also, I know, I do remind you of this daily, but you can go to the wonderful world of the IG as well. And check out the show there as all you have to do is go to michael.caratenuto.5. I know, dot between first and last name, .5. Bam, taken care of. So that being said, the wonderful world of IG. And also, guys, last but definitely not least, as you know, the YouTube channel. Watch live on YouTube, but do subscribe. Because if you've missed any Pitchfork Lunch, and you know my Pitchfork Lunch is going to say, shame on you, where have you been? But I got you covered. You can watch live on YouTube, but also subscribe, because then you can get all caught up on the shows. And when I say all caught up, I mean season 1, yes. Season 2, yes. And now we are rocking season 3 here. So yes, you can binge watch season 1, keep watching season 3, binge watch season 2, keep watching season 3. And then, when we have these phenomenal con reviews that we have here on Pitchfork Lunch, you'll understand that. And again, maybe they didn't talk about this or that. You can't talk about the same things with the guests every time. Why would they want to do it? What fun would that be? Nonetheless, but yeah, go to YouTube and you can subscribe. And you guys know how to get to YouTube. You see my name, Michael Caratenuto, but you can search the page. It's at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Champ 005 at MVC005 on YouTube, and subscribe, because again, like I said, you have missed a plethora of phenomenal con reviews, coaches, players, voices, insiders, alum. It is all here. It is all here for you on Pitchfork Lunch. So yes, do subscribe, and forks up to the new subscribers. Again, I appreciate it. Had a few lately. So again, keep getting it out there, because there's nothing better than, of course, going in around through Sun Devil Nation. And we got a lot to get to today. Obviously, hockey. We'll hear from Coach Powers, coming off again a tough weekend against North Dakota, but a educational weekend. And I mean, look, they punched. They went toe to toe. North Dakota, very good team, and won both games. So it's that. But we'll hear from Coach Powers on that, and because they also obviously they keep NCHC conference play rolling as they hit the road this weekend, Friday and Saturday, as you wonderful people know. I reminded you, but they are going to Colorado College, and their previous matchups, I know they're in the obviously the stint of their schedule of playing teams for a second time, so the third and fourth games against these teams, which, yes, as we know, always gets a little chippy. I talked a little bit about it yesterday, and after from Coach Powers talk about it, but the no call and the penalty on Friday night, I mean, that was an absolute joke. Nonetheless, though, as they take on Colorado College when they were at Mullet back on November 7th and 8th. They tied Friday night, it was 3-3, but the Devils won the shootout 2-0. And then the second night, the Devils fell 3-1. Colorado, it was 2-1 late. You pull your goalies trying to get one, but Colorado College got an empty netter. Nonetheless, still 3-1. So, and that was right before they went to North Dakota, and they lost the first game 5-2, and then beat North Dakota 4-2. And then lost to Denver, came home, lost to Denver 7-1 there for that, but then beat Denver 3-2. Beat Denver 3-2. And then swept Ohio State, beautiful, 3-2, an overtime win, and then 2 overtime wins, 3-2 and 4-3, and then they went to Minnesota Duluth, lost 3-1, but then won 6-3. Played Dartmouth, won 5-1 the first game, but then lost 4-1 in the second game, and then came home for the Desert. Well, I shouldn't say came home, but started the new year. Obviously, the Desert Hockey Classic with Alaska Anchorage and Air Force. ASU and unless Michigan Tech was the other school, but they played Alaska Anchorage first. They beat them 7-2. Then they beat Air Force 5-2. Turned around and played Miami of Ohio. Started NCAC play again, as we know. They lost 2-1 in overtime, and then won 1-0 on that Saturday night. And then North Dakota, you're all caught up, 7-4, and then 5-3, both losses. But man, punched away. So here comes Colorado College again, and it's gonna be. Well, it's the NCAC. You guys know it's going to be challenging. So that's what they have coming up. We'll hear from, like I said, Molly Miller. It is rivalry. Rivalry week kicked off after their game on Saturday. Saturday, yes. After their game on Saturday night, or Saturday afternoon in Cincinnati, where they fell. We'll hear from Coach wrapping that up, the tough challenges they've had. But now, of course, getting ready for that team down south. They will be at Desert Financial Arena tomorrow night. You guys need to get your butts out here. And we do not need a bunch of U of A fans trying to overtake this arena, which, again, is 17-4 overall. 4-4 in conference play. We've lost 2 in a row. Again, took 21 games for that to happen. But undefeated at home, kids, 11-0. Hey, let's keep the magic going. And 6-4 away. And it is a gold out. Territorial Cup points on the line, and it is a gold out. So you need to get here. As when we look at, again, too tough. I mean, West Virginia was 22. We understand that, but they're definitely a game they could have won. But looking at Big 12 standings, as you guys know, with the Devils now falling to 4-4, that puts them in a tie for sixth with BYU, who's beaten them, and Colorado, who they have beaten. So, but a tie for sixth. So BYU, ASU, and Colorado all have 4-4 records. Oh, as does K-State, who will actually be here Sunday. But again, we care, but all that matters is that team down south tomorrow night, who just happens to be struggling. They're 1-7 in conference play. And 10-9 overall. So yes, are they struggling? Yeah. Are they battling, but again struggling in conference? Yes. Do we overlook them, Pitchfork Lunchers? No. And I'm talking. I'm saying it in that tone for the people down south that I know watch, just because they beat BYU the men's side beat BYU last night, but people down south that watch, because we don't overlook, and it is a rivalry game, and we'll hear from Coach Miller on that. She had a nice little ace in the sleeve about talking to the team about the Territorial Cup game. So we'll hear from Coach Miller. Be awesome. Like I said, we'll hear from Coach Powers. And men's hoops, by the way, they are taking on UCF tonight, this evening. At 5 o'clock, and that is on ESPN Plus. You can also listen on 6:20 a.m. So UCF definitely, they got that win against Cincinnati. They got off the losing train. let's momentum crazy. Let's switch it back. You know, they're looking to Coach Riley and team looking to switch it back up. And the way Mo Odom played, man, I mean that's just that is just huge. And by the way, standings in the Big 12 as of today, after again, like I said on the men's side, if you didn't see, the team down south went to Provo, got a win. Although I'm pretty sure it's the first. I got to make sure it's the first time they played this season. But last year, a lot of you I know remember BYU got a foul called, or U of A got a foul called against them, which inevitably, am I sad? No, but it was a joke. It never should have been called. And BYU ends up winning the game on those free throws, which again was terrible. Absolutely. I mean, I know Kyle Dott and I talked about it. Yes, thankless job, but I mean, absolutely horrible, horrible call. So anyway, but men's Big 12 standings, yes, that team down south there, the number one team in the land still. And there are 6 teams from the Big 12 in the top 25. Number 1, number 8, number 10, number 11, and number 13. Yeah. So, yeah. Team down south, number 1. Iowa State is number 8. Houston is 10. Which I don't. Well, they fell. Who did they fall to? Wait. Oh, yes. They lost to Texas Tech by 490-86. So that was their first conference loss, second loss overall. Their only other loss was to Tennessee, who was 17 at the time, and they lost to them by 3, 76-73. So anyway, yes, so the Texas Tech got that win, which is huge, and they're at 11. They're still below Houston, but nonetheless. Oh, well, that was because that game was last night. Well, nonetheless, but anyway, I digress. But yes, we all know Houston, the dominant team, but Texas Tech beat them the other day. So, but yeah, Arizona 1, Houston 10, Iowa State 8, Houston 10, Texas Tech 11, BYU 13, and Kansas up to 14 now. So, but in the Big 12 standings, ASU now being 2-5 is tied for 10th with Colorado. Colorado, ASU, and then, Cincinnati, who they beat. So they're actually obviously ahead of them, but Cincinnati's now 2-5. Oklahoma State's 2-5. And then you got Kansas, Baylor, and Utah at 1-6. So trying to climb out of that hole. And but you Mo Odom, Pig Johnson, you heard him. I mean, even Coach Hurley talking about a post game, played it yesterday. So UCF tonight, though, and UCF, by the way, that's what I was trying to tell you too as well, is they are 4-3 in conference play and 15-4 overall. So it's a good team. As they're hanging there on the upper part of the Big 12 again, just behind BYU, who's now 5-2, and Iowa State and Kansas. And then you get the Houston at 5-1, Texas Tech at 6-1, and then that team down south 8-0. Yes, 21-0 overall. And in the AP poll, I wonder, did they get every single vote again? Yes, they got every single first place vote. Oh, finally in the coaches poll, Michigan stopped getting their one vote. All 31 votes went to the team down south. Like, not that I like it. I'm vomiting pitchfork lunchers, but again, there's eye tests, there's watching games. Yes, I'm not saying Michigan isn't good, but yeah, so but yeah, when you look at the AP, their UCF is, they were receiving votes. How are they not receiving votes now? Tennessee, Kentucky. Well, yeah, they're not receiving votes, but that kind of cracks me up. But nonetheless, like I said, you see like Kansas at 14, BYU at 13, Texas Tech at 11, Houston at 10, Iowa State at 8, and then you go all the way up to Arizona at 1. Houston, though, at 17-2. Iowa State's 18-2. I mean, Gonzaga's 21-1. So I think their only loss was to Michigan, right? We obviously played Gonzaga. Yeah, they lost to Michigan by 40. Or, yeah, 101 to 61 that game. So that was Gonzaga's only huge hiccup on their schedule, but they're 21-1. Nebraska is 20-0. They're the only other undefeated team. So, and they're up 2 spots to number 5. So, hey, it's a football school, right? Anyway, I kid because I have Nebraska fans that I know watch this that, again, got to give a little bit of a hard time to. Nonetheless, but yes, so that is that. We're going to take a break though because we got, like I said, we got a lot to hear from. We're going to hear from Coach Powers when we get back. Again, wrapping up North Dakota, getting ready for Colorado College. You know, his team banged up, but just what the grit and the energy and the passion and the fight this team shows as well. And I mean, having talent too doesn't suck, right? So, but yes, unfortunately, you know, losing 2 of your top 6 forwards for the season definitely sucks. But you know, Coach Powers, they're in a, you know, they got to work, but they're in a good spot, and young guys are stepping up and constantly stepping up. And then we'll, of course, hear Coach Miller last night. She did her show out at Blanco over at Nova's Place. So that was awesome. But we got to catch up with her quickly beforehand. So, yeah, we'll hear from Coach Miller as well. But we'll step aside and have more Pitchfork Lunch coming right up. And we are back here on Pitchfork Lunch. Yes, I am Michael Caratenuto at Diablo00 on the X, artist formerly known as the Twitter. You know it, you love it. Check out the show live there every day, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1, as well as my IG, michael.caratenuto.5, and the amazingly epic YouTube channel at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Champ 005 at MVC005 on the good old YouTube. Subscribe away. And again, get all caught up. Again, sound like this that we're about to hear, but the phenomenal con reviews first and foremost. Yeah, you met a lot of people throughout some of this. You're going to keep meeting more. It's going to be absolutely rocking. So, yeah, but with that, yeah, like I said, let's get right to it. Coach Powers, again, after Denver, Yeah, you drop 2 games against easily the top team in the country, top 2 in the country, and there's a lot of great college hockey guys, as you know. If you've never watched, I don't know why, but I know some of you say, "Oh, I'm not really a hockey person." Yeah, watch college hockey and then tell me that. Especially with the Devils being in the NCHC now, independent for all those years, what Coach Powers has built. Anyway, not going down that rabbit hole. You know I love it. And scheduling Coach Powers for next week on the show. So that is in the works. So I'll give you more on that, but it'll be sitting down with me again. Love getting Coach Powers this time again. Just absolutely phenomenal. So next week though. So again, that's why you want to check out Pitchfork Lunch. But yes, here is Coach Powers today. Just a little bit ago, his weekly media availability of, again, North Dakota, Colorado College, state of the team, and everything, of course. But this team may have dropped 2, but they're rolling forward.
Go ahead. Yeah, I mean, like I said live, we felt there was a lot of really good things we did. That is a really, really good team. One of the best teams I think we've played since we've been doing this. Just really well put together, deep everywhere, and they're tough. I think the positive we can take away from 4 games against North Dakota is every game. Obviously we got one up there. Every game we were in it going into the third. And this team has got to get over the hump with a better mindset on how to win those games, like I talked about a little bit, and I think they have it in them to do it. We have to draw on experiences, and we got a 10-game season left to get over that hump, and I believe our guys can and will.
And to piggyback off that, I know it's not, it's not about like silver linings, but to, like you're saying, almost to punch back against that team, whether they got up, you came back, you were up, they were coming back, you're still punching back.
Yep.
When the team sees that on film, just what did it do confidence-wise?
They know. I mean, you hate to bring up the past in a negative way, but we have to learn from it. We have to get better from it. Otherwise, it's just going to continue to happen. So when you have a lead against Penn State both nights, you don't win. You up at North Dakota, the game we lost, we were tied going into the third. Here we're up and we're down 1. You're in every game. You have to find a way to have a better third, and lock it down and be better defensively. And that's all we worked on today. It's all we're going to work on all week, is just polishing up details in the D zone and getting better there. And it's really simple stuff that's very correctable. And when you have some really big guys out like we do, we have guys that just wear so much responsibility on thinking that they have to score for us to win, and they lose sight of the detail on the other side of the puck. And I think that's what happened by and large this weekend. So it's just working with them and learning from it and moving forward.
Even without Potter, you guys were able to get 7 goals over the weekend against a team that averages just about giving up 2 goals in the game. What did you see offensively from all of your lines?
It was awesome. Everybody chipped in, and we didn't get a goal from Shimmer Lush all weekend. And we still put up 7. So I think that's a really good sign against a stout defensive team. We were able to generate on. We weren't able to keep it out of our net, unfortunately. And it felt like we were trending in such a good direction. After the break, we really focused on the D side of the puck and buying into team defense and erring on the side of defensive posture first. And we did it. We did it really well at Dartmouth. We did it really well in the Desert Classic, and we did it even better against Miami, giving up a goal, in regulation both nights, and then it went to hell in a handbasket against a really, really good team. So we got to get back to basics on that side of the puck, and that's all we've been focusing on this week, and we'll continue to.
What do you think about the buy-in being so shorthanded, and after the weekend you had of your guys trying to come back?
I think it's incredible. I think the vibe in the room right now is really good. Energy on the ice was amazing today. The guys still believe, and there's no reason not to. There's no reason not to, with the youth we have. It's this close, but you know what they say about close. It's good for horseshoes and hand grenades, not hockey, unfortunately. So. But it's been that close all year for us. We have to find a way to use these experiences, improve our mindset in the big moments, and get over the hump. We've done it in stretches. With CC, we were down 3, we come back and win in the shootout. Ohio State, down 3 in the third, come back and win. So the team has done it. The bounce back against Denver. You get blitzed on Friday night, turn around the next day, you win. Up in North Dakota, same thing. So we have it in us. We just have to find it more consistently. And that's the I think the challenge you always have with a youthful team is finding that winning consistency. And it starts out here. It starts in practice, and if we bring it every day in practice. And look, we're so limited right now from a body standpoint that we got to be careful what we do in practice. But we can't. Doesn't mean we can't practice hard. We're practicing hard. We're going to keep things short so we're really fresh on Friday and Saturday the rest of the way to go.
You mentioned the defensive issues this last weekend. Has your confidence in your goaltending changed at all?
Not even a little bit. I mean, I think both guys were really good. Obviously, the first 2 periods against a great team. They gave us a chance to win both games. That's all you can ask, and they've done that really all year. I'll stand by it. They're the best goaltending duo we've had. Obviously, we gotta challenge guys to be joy to court here in the future, right? It's tough to find those guys, but I see no reason why Sam Raban, before he's done here, can't be. He's going to be that good. We believe in him that much, and has been everything we wanted him to be and more, especially from a teammate standpoint. Both kids are such good teammates, are such good people. They work hard every day in practice, and they give us a chance to win every night. Do I want to see both guys lock it down in the third more than they did? Of course. They would be the first to tell you that, because they're accountable kids and they want to win and they take so much ownership in what we're doing, that they would probably say, yeah, the third was on me, but it wasn't, right? It was on everybody. And, zero waiver on any level in either one of those 2 kids. They can get it done for us every night.
Where would you put them in terms of a league ranking as a tandem?
I mean, as a tandem, I don't know if there's not a better tandem. There's not a better 1-2 or 1A, 1B for sure. We have some great goalies in our league, but I don't know. I think that either Hazard or Herbs could start for anybody in the country.
Is there any, sort of concern with, how shorthanded your forward group already is and who might be available on a given weekend that you might have to bring anybody else in if another guy goes down?
We can't bring anybody in, so no, there's not. I think the under the new rules, once you set your roster, it's locked, right? So, it's 26 plus if you have some designated student athletes that we were able to list, like a Tony Akili and a Chase Ham. They don't count against the 26 cap, but you're locked. Once you're locked, you're locked. If you opt into the house settlement, it is what it is. Where you see some of these other programs, either they didn't opt in and they can add, that's an advantage to not being a part of it, or maybe they didn't max out their roster. Where we were at 25 and then we added Jack Beck late, right? So when we added him, we were stuck for the year. We couldn't add anybody a break, and it is what it is. I think we're very comfortable with where we are, and we have 2D on the back end that we can easily throw up front if we need to. That are very effective up front, and Tucker Ness or Anthony Dowd both could do it if we need them. So we have to stay fluid, but we believe in what we have. Look at we've had what we've had, and against arguably the best team in the country, and we were right there. We feel like we let one get away from us Saturday. Again, it was lack of detail in the D zone, too many stick penalties, things that are so controllable and so fixable.
Do you think this season's going to kind of change your mindset, how you attack the portal now with the 15-day portal that the NCAA just issued?
I don't think so. I think I know that no matter what happens the rest of this season, what this group has been through and the core that we're bringing back and that will be here moving into the future. I mean, you can see kids taking steps like Sam Alfano, like the step he took over the last month. I thought he was unbelievable for us this weekend. He was really good Saturday, drove the play every shift, could have had 3 or 4 goals, was really good. Guys like that, they're getting so many reps and so much experience. Mello, that kid is going to be a superstar. He's getting his reps, and now we're going to look for guys like Ben Kivan to step up and do more. And the list goes on and on. Logan Morrell's a sophomore. Ty Nash is a sophomore. And Lincoln Keen's going to be back in, and he'll get his reps. So it's exciting. People forget Bose and Shelley are really the guys that have to be rocks for us back there, and they're sophomores. So it's going to pay off. And we're hoping that it does this year. We're not going to give up until the clock strikes 0, and but it's exciting.
When you say payoff too, I mean, I know Friday you talked about the power play, but even power play and penalty kill, the guys going down, like you said, I know guys stepping in, but just what have you seen from those two special teams units that?
Well, I thought that, I mean, special teams, you know, I mean, we won the special teams battle over the course of the weekend, you know, and very rarely can you have to against a team that good because they're just so deep, so balanced, but it didn't get it done, you know, and it didn't get it done because we were sloppy defensively, you know, and a team that's that good and that dangerous, you know, if you're not dialed into details, coming back into your D zone, that was where we really struggled. You know, they're going to expose you, and they did. They made us better. You know, they made us better, and they exposed some things that we clearly need to work on that, for whatever reason, we got loose with. You know, we felt really good about where we were defensively. I mean, you take the previous 4 games, it was what, 6, you know, under 2 goals a game we were averaging. So, you know, we were trending in a really good direction, and then wham, they exposed us, and we got some things to work on. We're working on them.
Was there any thought of going into the season being one of those teams that didn't use all 26 roster spots?
No, I think that obviously before Jack, you know, obviously that happened, that was going to be what we were going to do. We weren't going to force anything because we knew we could add somebody at the break. But we don't regret adding him. What he's going to do for us over the next 2 years. He's going to be a leader. It really is disappointing because he's such a good hockey player. He was just finding his way and finding his stride, and then obviously, you know, what happened. So if I could take back bringing him in, I would not. It was for our program in the long term, and I really believe his long term. It's the best thing that could happen. You're just going to have to wait a little longer to yield those results.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.
Bam, right there. I mean, that again, but back to that sucks. And yes, with the house settlement, yes, I did talk about a pitchfork lunchers, but opting in. And again, you can, if you do, you know, some didn't opt in and you can add. But yeah, see, right now it's an opt-in thing, which I think is interesting that Coach says that. But well, not says that, no, that tells us that. But like, I just got to think after a little bit, it's just going to be that's how it is. So, but nonetheless, yeah, like you're saying there, I mean, they expose things defensively, and what I say yesterday, North Dakota is a goldfish. Like, that was the epitome of, oh, we're down 2 goals, or ASU scores to get back within 1, or scores the first, like ties it up, and then boom, quick, just strike again. I mean, it is goldfish mentality. I wish I would have had goldfish mentality on finding the net. No, but well, actually I do. But anyway, but yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, when you lose somebody like that, and obviously, well, I mean, Colin Potter now too, but. And then he says on top of that, that was crazy. Think about it this weekend. I mean, 7 goals scored against a team like North Dakota, and Cruz or Bennett didn't have a goal. Like, I mean, again, not that, you know, and yes, defenses might be shifting to them as we know. But I mean, but yeah, I mean, Jack Beck goes down, and you know, you get him late. You know, he comes in late, but still, like, I mean, absolutely awesome. It's just, it's like I said, the youth of the team, and he talks about it, like where they're going to be, and both Ty Nash and Logan Morrell spoke to him. We'll hear from them. Actually, we'll hear from them. Probably tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. And again, both you know, local kids. I mean, you know, Ty Nash, obviously, you know, Tyson Nash, but he, you know, grew up playing here, and so did Logan Morrell. I mean, being from Mesa, so those guys played against each other. But yeah, I digress. Back to Coach Powers. It's one of those things where when you look at Coach Powers, like, and again, what this team has done, I mean, it's the injury part of it sucks, but it's part of hockey, unfortunately, and it's part of hockey, unfortunately. But I mean, guys got to step up, and like he's saying, I mean, from the step up standpoint, I mean, Tucker Ness, I mean, he's a defenseman, just blasting it with some goals, and then Dowd, same thing. If he had to come up from Point Pleasant, New Jersey, but I mean, he's a junior, if he had to. But I mean, right, and it's tough. I mean, and Johnny Waldron, I mean, the goal that he had, I mean, he's a senior, but still, it's awesome. I mean, both Morrell and Nash are sophomores, so and like he says that too. I mean, Brazen Bozer, another sophomore defenseman that he's talking about. Joel Kelberg. I mean, again, he's a sophomore, and I mean, defense-wise, like, it's a team that and they have been playing well in North Dakota. Again, there were some open goals. They had a few. There was one or two that were. There's like two that were. It's like, oh man, some guys slipped away. But like Coach said, I mean, those are things you work on. A great team like that exposes it. Work on it. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty. Like I said, standings wise now, real quick before we hear from Coach Miller. I mean, standings wise now. The Devils. When you look at it, North Dakota's got 38 points. Even if the Devils won all 10 of their games that are left, right? It's all conference games, all 10 of their games. So, I would give them 47 points. Yeah, I mean, that would be a hell of a run. But yeah, North Dakota's running away with the regular season title. They're at 38. Denver's having a hell of a year too. They're 8 points behind them at 30, and then you got Western Michigan at 28, Minnesota Duluth at 25, St. Cloud State, who we still will have to play, is at 20. And then ASU 17, Miami 16, Omaha 15, and Colorado College 15. So again, Colorado College 4-7-3 in conference play. Yes, you played them early. They're 10-11-3 overall. The Devils are 12-13-1, and we'll get more into it, obviously, closer to Friday. But I'm just saying, like, it's you need to beat Colorado College. Miami's behind you, but you need to beat Omaha when you see them. You get four wins there, and then you end with Denver. Like I said, that last series in Denver, regular season series, I mean, could end up being huge. So, but yeah, I mean, it's just the schedule and it's energy. It's awesome. It's electric, and it is exciting. And yeah, I mean, the Devils, like I said, injuries are not right there. So, forks up to Coach Powers and the team. Forks up to the team again, just battling, grinding. These boys are just absolutely money. So yes, they got a little bit of work to do, but it's. I look forward to seeing the progress. Is what I'm saying. Or seeing the work, I should say. But yes, let's shift gears. It is Territorial Cup rivalry week, my friends, as you know, in men's hoops too, because Saturday night that team from down south will be here, but. Focusing on the women, Coach Miller, who, again, played both ASU and the team down south and even NAU. I mean, when she was at Grand Canyon, she talks about that. But, yeah, I mean, it's a rivalry game, and it is going to be ginormo. again, I said earlier, U of A struggling. 1-7, I think, in conference play. Not I think I know 1-7 in conference play. So yeah, but nothing is overlooked. It is a rivalry game. All stops will be out, and yeah. So that is that. But without further ado, let's hear from Coach Miller coaching it and who she brought in as a little X factor for talking about just the intensity of the rivalry week and, to put it mildly, the just disdain for that alleged institution down south.
Road trip where the Thunder have lost back-to-back games for the first time this season. I'm just curious, what type of adjustments are you looking to make, especially in the 3-game homestand that starts on Wednesday?
Yeah, it was tough, and it hurts. It hurts us. It hurts our players. That's a good thing that it hurts. There were some long faces in that locker room, so I don't think it's reinvent the wheel because nobody's out of our league right now. Every single game we're going to be able to compete in moving forward. So I think it's an effort thing. We're not probably going to outscore teams, outshoot teams, outstat teams. We're just going to have to win with our effort and our energy and our defense.
And it's your first rivalry game against Arizona Wildcats. Knowing that you have faced Arizona State while you were head coach at GCU, I'm just curious, what type of mindset are you do you have for this Sun Devils versus Arizona team, and how cool is it to be a part of that?
Yeah, no, it's the buzz all week is fun. Rivalry week is the best, no matter where you're at. But when you're talking about Arizona State and Arizona and the battles for every sport back and forth, that's a pride win, and you don't lose that game. And whatever game is up next, we want to win, but this one means a little bit more.
And going through all that you guys have, I was just asking Gabby this, like, you've won close games, you've had blowout wins, you've been on the other end of it. I know you talk about improving and learning from everything, but just having gone through that to this point, how much has it helped the team grow?
You have to grow in these situations because you get exposed in areas, and it was a tale of two different teams. The first half, we looked like a ticked off team. No one was going to stop us from getting our goals. Then we kind of let off, and we were more passive and casual in the second quarter. So we can't build in excuses not to play hard for 40 minutes. I don't care if we're up by 17, I think, at one point, or down by 7. We always have to be consistent in our approach to the game, and that's been a good learning lesson for us.
Did you bring a former player in this week to talk to them about this game?
Oh yeah, Riley she's part of the staff, and so I didn't even have to do any motivation. I'm like, I'm not pulling out my treasure chest of motivation tools right now. Riley, how important is this game? And you could even hear the passion in her voice. Practices were rough and tumble leading up to this game. The talk of the town, is on a new level leading up to this game. So just to have an alumni, and I've been texting Charlie too. It just means more, and that's healthy. That's what you love in sport, is these rivalries, to get the fan base involved, and it's going to be a great game for women's basketball.
You and Becky Berger in your first years of the program. Have you had a lot of familiarity, many conversations?
Yeah, Steph coached her, so I think that's a cool little link there. And I know Becky, obviously, from the mid-major days, and here we are, both a mid-major coach, now being our first P4 season under our belts. And she's kind of wired the same, those former players, competitiveness, tough nose, gritty, and her team plays like that. So I have a lot of respect when I watch game film. When you say, oh, that team's coached well because they play hard, that's a testament to what she does.
Coach, for GCU, you beat them last year. Same coach. What do you have to do on Wednesday to get it done again?
We went to McHale, so we'll do that February 14th. So I'm glad we get to host and play at home. We haven't had many home games in the last 60 days, so that's going to be nice. But just getting back to us playing our kind of basketball, team basketball, tough-nosed defense. It's going to be a physical game. I can tell you that. It's going to be a really physical game. You want to be on the edge of that physicality.
It meant something when you were at GCU to play any of the other in-state schools, but what do you think was the last true rivalry that you were a part of?
Oh man, when you go back to Drury Ashland days, that's when we met in the regionals, and it was a back and forth battle, and you just, your skin almost, like your senses are different when you play those games. And then the GCU, that round of just the whole state championship, we kind of dubbed it as going through. There was some pride there. So there's definitely pride when you play a team in the same state, and you have that will, and you have that pride, and you have that intensity. And so Arizona State, Arizona rivalry is one of the best there is.
With this being rivalry week for both the women's and the men's team, what environment are you trying to instill on campus?
Well, I just got a text from Lisa Young, and she said this is the most tickets that have been claimed so far in an Arizona State women's basketball rivalry game. So that's exciting for me because women's basketball is going like this. That's why rivalry games are so good. It generates interest. So if we can have a rowdy environment, that's good for the game, that's good for teams, that's good for our community, it's good for our fans. So my expectation is rowdy and lots of Sun Devils in the building pulling for the team.
Going up to Cincinnati during the winter storm, and now coming back to Tempe, how rigorous is this conference schedule and how relieving is it to be back at home?
Yeah, I mean, I said in our press conference, everyone has to do these long trips, and that's part of it. It's part of this season schedule. But it's nice to be home. I mean, what a recruiting tool, you know. All I have to do is screenshot the weather in Phoenix and put it on my Instagram story to do a little nudge, nudge. We're not snowed in here. We're outside, you know, having a beautiful day. So it does give you perspective. Very grateful for this weather, this environment, and this kind of quality of life we have.
And you are also here in front of the Blanco, and knowing that you're also going to host a show in the huddle now with the Sun Devil women's basketball season ticket holders coming in to interact with the players and hang out, get some good food. Just curious, how are the vibes like tonight?
Yeah, no, Blanco's been great, and then the radio show's been a hit. Fox does a wonderful job with In the Huddle being a television series as well. We've got some special guests tonight. Willie's gonna join me and Powers from hockey. So it's gonna be fun, and the girls are here, there's fans, there's just this energy around our program right now that's so refreshing. You know, you hate to drop 2 on the road, but to sit back and say 17 and 14 at this point in time has been a huge accomplishment. We're not done yet.
Ah, that's a good little Willie and Coach Powers. I'm both
I
alum
know.
coaches on a rivalry week game.
I know. I want to ask them about it, you know, because they're alums. Like, how'd they feel about it as a player? How's that different from a coach? Like, do they hype up the rivalry any different in their pregame talks? Like, I want all the insights from them.
Cool.
Thank you.
Cool. Yes, and yeah, you heard it right there. That is absolutely. I mean, it is rivalry week, and wow, the most tickets claimed. I mean, I know when Charlie Turner Thorne forks up to coach was here that there was some big crowds, but that's awesome. I mean. Coach Miller's right. They deserve the energy around. I mean, she said 17 and 14. She meant to say 17 and 4. But yeah, I mean, to be 17 and 4 right now after 21, yeah, you drop 2, but let's, you know, respond, nip that right there. And yeah, but again, guys, Wednesday night, tomorrow night, 6:30, get here early, and, you know, be civil, but you know, give it to that team in team down south, razzing them while they're warming up. You know, let them know that you're gonna be here all night on the Gold Out, 6:30 again. Like I said, tomorrow. So yeah, that is again just absolutely, you know, right. And she's right. The fun part of our rivalry week. But yeah, both. And Amaya Williams and Last Tier Poa were the player guests last night. Yeah, I mean, and look, I'll actually show you Coach Powers and Coach Bloomquist there as yeah, like I said, they were the two different segments, a segment with Coach Bloomquist, segment with Coach Powers, which again, absolutely awesome. And but yeah, here is Coach
guest. It's Territorial Cup week, and we're also going to do something a little.
Yeah. So yeah, there's Coach Bloomquist. He last night hanging out with said Coach Miller and Jeff Munn, the voice of the women's basketball on the Sun Devil Radio.
Coach, go right ahead. Introduce your guest.
Yeah,
this is fun for me because, well, sometimes.
Like I said, you see Coach Bloomquist there, and then Coach Powers, and it was cool listening to him. Again, you catch it on the radio tonight, and then on 1060 tonight, and then it'll be on Fox. Obviously, the game's Wednesday, but it'll be on Fox. It'll air Wednesday, and you can catch it all. But again, I love obviously the support of the coaches and stuff. And I've talked about that here. I've asked the coaches on here, about it, and they've all responded. But yeah, look at this. Here's
time at the end. Let me do this now. For those of you on radio, tomorrow night, that school down south.
Yeah, I see Coach Powers there with Coach Miller.
We run out of time at the end.
So yeah, I mean,
now,
there he is.
For those of you on radio,
do the interview with Coach Miller again.
That school down south.
Oh yeah, not bad.
Pregame at 6.
People, out at Blanco at Nova's place for that. So, it's like I said, it's electric and it's rivalry and tomorrow again. It's like I want it to be here now, but again, well, didn't hit the sneeze cam button, but got out of the way. Didn't do it on camera. So anyway, but yeah, very stoked for that. So. Yeah, just Coach Miller. But yeah, I mean, and Riley Richardson, obviously the Sun Devil alum, played for Charlie Turner Thorne. And he said, yeah, I just turned to Riley and, I saw Riley. I'm like, hey, give the team the passion that is, like I said, just the dislike. Yes, you want to win your games, but playing this game. And, Coach Powers said something interesting last night, like playing Arizona, it was its own season. Now, in club hockey, I mean, Arizona's has a good club hockey team. ASU did for a long time, which Coach Powers coached. He played for. He won a championship with the club team. But he goes, yeah, the only time we played them was in an exhibition, and that was 2 years ago now, and they won 16-0. That would be ASU did. I mean, come on. So, yeah, that was everybody, the crowd on hand, the Sun Devil faithful on hand. Greatly enjoyed that. It was great to see Coach Bloomquist, obviously, said having him on. Coach Powers again, scheduling him next week. You guys aren't going to want to miss it. Going to be live with us. So, again, no be bashful. Well, don't miss it, I should say. Not even don't be bashful, but yeah, you definitely shouldn't miss it. So, yeah. And the men, like I said, UCF, they have them coming up tonight. Yeah, they have them coming up tonight, and that's on ESPN Plus. You can check it out there at, did I say 5:30 local time? 5 p.m. local time. And it's, on ESPN Plus, 6:20 a.m. That's on the Sun Devil Sports Network. Again, Tim Healy, friend of the program, Kyle Dodd. So, yeah, absolutely awesome there. Very stoked to get ready for this game. And, again, let's see, 82-68. Let's see if he can beat UCF because they've done pretty well. And they're right now they are. We'll end on this because, like I said, they are 4-3 in conference play, but they're 15-4 overall. Yeah, they're tied for 7th right now, but I mean, there's a few teams at 5-2. They're at 4-3 with West Virginia. So yeah, but UCF, I mean, they did lose to Vanderbilt early in the season, 105-93. And then they lost to, they won a lot of games in between that. Then they lost to Oklahoma State, 81-76. And they lost to Arizona, who was 84-77. Close game there with the Cats. And then they played number 1 and number 9 back-to-back. Iowa State's now number 8. And they lost 87-57 there, but then turned around and beat Colorado 95-86. And now they play the Devils today, like I said, 5 p.m. on ESPN+. So that is that. But hey, we're going to get out of here again. So stoked you joined today. Again, at Diablo00 on X, artist formerly known as the Twitter. Check out the show live there every day, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1, along with my IG, michael.caratonudo.5 on the world of Instagram, and the YouTube channel. You guys know, last but not least, go to YouTube, watch live, but you need to subscribe because you have a ton of shows and just great conv reviews and content to catch up on. So go to YouTube. You know how to get there. My page is at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Champ 005 at MVC005 on YouTube, and subscribe away. Forks up to the new subscribers recently. Again, appreciate it. Get your friends out there. Let's get a few more. And go from there. But again, appreciate it. I will see you tomorrow, same bad time, same bad channel. And as always, again, thanks to reigning back-to-back Big 12 women's volleyball champions for the volleyball team for reminding me it is #OurState. And yes, Team Down South, especially on Territorial Cup weeks, just to remind you of that, it is #OurState. And don't forget, again, the Big 12 volleyball champs helped me remember that. So yes, it is our state. Have a phenomenal rest of your Taco Tuesday. And like I say, make them spicy, whether it's a little, put some jalapenos in there, cilantro, a little sriracha, Frank's Red Hot on top, whatever you want, Make them a little spicy. I like them a little spicy, just got to say. So enjoy your Taco Tuesday. I will see you tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel. And, go Devils. And as always, forks up.
I went to Arizona State. Right. I'm a Sun Devil, man.
The 27-yard line. That's a great call. Good play fake. Plummer will put it up. Throws over the middle. Cool. Touchdown. Quick flag.
3rd down and 5. Levitt switches to Scatterboom. Scatterboom breaks defenders. Here he goes again. Scatterboom is the running back, and he is immediately met in the backfield, runs through the contact, and then throws a shoulder for good measure. Revenge on this team this year. That is true. High in the air, right center field. Brandon Compton. Welcome to 2025.
Edwards pulls off and buries it. Richardson drives out for Robbie Ryan. Her 3 right on the money.
Takes his shot for Darby. Flag out. Doesn't matter.